that good, Oakland? Hey everyone, it is a beautiful day outside and I'm going to be doing something that I've never done before, and that is tap a maple tree. So we've got 3 silver maples in our yard and I've never been around maple tapping and never done it, but our supplies and stuff just came. So we're gonna give it a shot. So I'm gonna be tapping on the south side where all the sunlight is coming in. I'm gonna tap the hole, make the hole just a couple feet off the ground. And I've got my drill measured, a 5/16 drill bit measured at 1.5 inches so I don't go in any farther. I'm gonna go at just a slight angle. So here goes nothing. Come here. Okay, now I've got my tap and a hammer. Just put this in. And there's the thud. I got my bucket. I got a food grade bucket from Tractor Supply and a lid. I put the hole on the top because the lids are much cheaper than the buckets. Scout, come here. Scout, come here. But if you do get a lot of rain and stuff, there is a chance that rainwater could pool on the lid. So I'm gonna try to prevent that. I got a pretty snug hole, but I'm going to And this one's got some sap coming out of it already. So this will be we're on our basically 2nd week of getting sap, and just wanted to show you how we collect our sap. We have jars that we put it in because we also have another 5-gallon bucket full in the fridge already. So just kind of whatever you can use to keep all the sap. So this is how we just collect it this way. It's a beautiful day, so the sap is really running, which is awesome. Okay, hon. Here, stay back. Stay back. No, no. Okay. I'll try to keep sticks out of the jar as much as possible. Okay, okay. Say moo. Moo. Ah. So we were kind of maybe getting a half gallon. Today we thought that was pretty good. But today we got a gallon from another tree, or a little more than a gallon from our bigger tree. And this one is also a better producer than the other two. So we got about a gallon from this one. So now we just keep this sap in the fridge until we're ready to boil. We'll boil again this weekend, and so it'll be good till then. Oh.
June? I don't see the cat.
It is such a beautiful morning. We thought it was going to be windy today, and it still might be, but this morning, getting the fire going is just beautiful. Could not have asked for better weather to spend the whole day outside. So here's our setup. We just use a cinder block evaporator on our chimney. We had some wind, so that's why we're kind of covering the front a little bit to help the fire kind of get going. So we have 3 cinder blocks high, and then we have 3 buffet pans on there. So kind of just depends how much sap you're boiling, and how many buffet pans and how much surface area you want. But the other thing is, like, our chimney is, the goal I think is about twice as high as the length of your evaporator to make the airflow go through and up into the chimney. So ours does a pretty good job going up there and making sure that it's the hottest as you get to the chimney. So you can see this pan is the closest to syrup, boiling good, middle pan, and then the warming pan. So this is our 4th time using this setup, and it's worked really good. So it's a good option if you don't want to build something more permanent. We absolutely loved cooking over the fire evaporator. We had friends and family over to enjoy the food. It was probably one of my favorite things about doing maple syrup this year, and I'm looking forward to many years of doing that. Our goal was to get the maple sap to the temperature of 212 to 214 degrees Fahrenheit. That way we could take the rest in and finish it inside, where we could watch more closely. So here we are at that point, and we are filtering it through a cheesecloth and strainer just to get any bit of debris out, as sticks and ash can sometimes get in there just from putting more wood on the fire. So we do this to make it simpler and just cleaner for the rest of the process. It goes through good.
You do the splashing.
Okay, let's see. You hold it a little closer. There you go. There you go. You're learning. I think I would go through like this the second time. So there are setups to hold the filter versus your husband doing it, but this is what we did this time around. The filtering process was probably the most frustrating part, as it felt very time consuming and like that it should have been going smoother than what it was. just getting it to go through the filters and such. We just kind of had a heck of a time. So if you have been doing this for a while and have any tips or tricks, we'd absolutely love to see them in the comments. Then we put it back on the stove and boiled it to 219 degrees Fahrenheit. You can disregard the 214 on the thermometer. We boiled water and tested it, and it was reading about 4 to 5 degrees lower, so we adjusted based on that. We also used a hydrometer, and every single time we ended up having to actually boil the syrup longer than just when we reached 219 degrees. So just something to keep in mind. Finally, it was time to bottle the maple syrup. So we use mason jars, and they're washed, clean, and hot. You do want to make sure that there's not any water left over in them and that they are warm so that the temperature does not shock them with the maple syrup being so hot. You want the maple syrup temperature to be over 180 degrees Fahrenheit and below 195 degrees. So after doing our final filter, the temperature was always lower than 180 degrees as it cooled off pretty fast and it took a while to filter. So we would put it back on the stove and warm it up. You do want to be careful about not warming up and boiling it for too long because it can crystallize, but we had to do it to make sure it was safe to bottle it. I use a damp paper towel to wipe the rims just to make sure that the lids would fit properly. Then I put the lids and rings on and flipped them upside down to help them seal and left them like that for 12 hours before storing.